Assalamu alaikum everyone. Once again, I welcome you to my YouTube channel that is Nawab Kiazai. Nawabkiazai. As you know that we had started a series of tenses and this is the last video of tenses. I mean the last lesson of tenses. So in today's video, in today's lesson, we are going to learn about future perfect continuous, or you can say future perfect progressive because it has two names. So now let's know a little bit what future perfect progressive is. Future perfect progressive is an action that will continue up until a point in the future. Understood? Once again, I should remind you, future perfect continuous or future perfect progressive is an action that will continue up until a point in the future. Understood? For example, if I say, I will have been waiting for you for 2 hours. You see, 2 hours. It's a time point. I will have been waiting for you until you come. You see, until you come. Again, time point. Okay. I will have been waiting for you for 2 days. Again, you see, 2 days. Again, time point. Or you can say simply, as being a Muslim, I will have been praying until my last breath. I will have been praying until my last breath. You see, again, last breath. Okay, time point. You see. So, such sentences are called future perfect continuous or future perfect progressive. Understood? So, now let's know a little bit about the formula of future perfect progressive, that how sentences are made in future perfect progressive. Understood? So the formula of future perfect progressive is this, that first of all your subject, I mean I, you, we, they, he, she, it, and then your modal verb, I mean will, then your helping verb, I mean have, then your can say another extra word, I mean the third form of the verb be, okay, been, okay, been, then your main verb, I mean the first form of the verb with the ing. Understood? Or simply you can say ing form of the verb. And then your object. 6 things. Understood? Once again, I should remind you. First of all, your subject. I mean I, you, we, they, he, she, it. Then your modal verb. I mean will. Then your helping verb. I mean have. Then your extra word. Okay. The third form of the verb be. I mean been. Then your main verb, I mean first form of the verb with ing, then your object. Understood? Now here I'll tell you a little bit about the forms of the sentence. The forms of the sentence. I'm not talking about those kinds, those types. You can say that, imperative sentence, declarative sentence, optative sentence. No. Here I'm talking about the forms of the sentence. You can say that, positive sentence, negative sentence, interrogative, negative sentence. So without any delay, let's go to the examples so that we understand them very well. So here you see, I have written all the subjects together, okay? Why? Because their main goal, main purpose is the same here, that will have been seeking knowledge. This sentence is applied to every subject here. Okay, that's why I have written all the subjects together. But there is another thing that, each of these subjects needs a complete sentence. So, on the board I didn't have enough place. So that's why I have, you can say curtailed them, you can say concealed them. So that, I cover more and more place on the board. Okay, so it's a trick that I have used. You should not do like this. You have to make a sentence with each subject. Understood? So here I would like to tell you something about this, modal verb will. in past when we used to study, so if we read with these subjects I and V, here we will read shall, another model verb, not this one. Okay, with the subjects I and V, not all the subjects, but I and V shall. For example, I shall have been seeking knowledge, we shall have been seeking knowledge. The other all subjects, they shall they will have been seeking knowledge, he will have been seeking knowledge. Okay, with each and every subject in past we used to do so. With the subjects I and we used to study, we used to read shall. But nowadays shall is fading. Understood? It is vanishing, you can say, or it has vanished. Why? Because nowadays we use will. With every subject we use will, this model verb. Why? Because will is American English, shall is British English. Nowadays you can say American English is prevailing everywhere, so that's why we use will with every subject. But here you have to keep one thing in mind, that in governmental letters, official letters, in documents you must use shall with the subjects I and V. You cannot use will there. Why? Because still our rules, our governmental official system is made with British English, not American English. Understood? Means British English is applied there on our official rules, governmental rules, governmental system. Okay. So first of all, I should read the positive sentence. I will read them separately as you want. Okay. I have just written them like this. I will read them according to you as you want. Understood? I will read a sentence with each subject. Okay. So let's read it first. I will have been seeking knowledge until my last breath. So here it should have been last breath. But I couldn't write. Why? Because I didn't have enough place on the board. So I'm sorry for that. But I will read them. I will, put a time point there for you to understand. Okay. I will have been seeking knowledge until my last breath. You will have been seeking knowledge until your last breath. We will have been seeking knowledge until our last breath. They will have been seeking knowledge until their last breath. He will have been seeking knowledge until his last breath. She will have been seeking knowledge until her last breath. It, you can say about a child, you can say, it will have been seeking knowledge until its last breath. One name, extra name I have put here from my side. Ali will have been seeking knowledge until his last breath. Understood? So this was your positive sentence. Now we are going to read the negative sentence. Okay, and let's see how negative sentences are made. You see here, in between the modal verb and the helping verb, there we put another extra word, that is not. Then your sentence becomes a negative sentence. Understood? So this is a sign of a negative sentence, that in the middle, in between will and have, modal verb and helping verb, we put not. Okay, here, so that we make a negative sentence. Okay. And the second thing is that this is the full form of will not, and we mostly read with the short form, that is won't. Okay, so we are habitual of using that. So if you allow me, please, so that I use won't instead of using will not. Okay, so please. I won't have been seeking knowledge. You won't have been seeking knowledge. We won't have been seeking knowledge. They won't have been seeking knowledge. He won't have been seeking knowledge. She won't have been seeking knowledge. It won't have been seeking knowledge. Ali won't have been seeking knowledge. But I'm sorry, I couldn't mention time point here, but I used here. I couldn't mention a time point here, so you must understand. The same rule applies here, to each and every sentence, but I couldn't, I could say, use a time point here, but I used a time point here, so you must understand, from that. So this was your negative sentence. Now let's know a little bit about the interactive sentence, that how interactive sentences are made. So you see, first of all, you have to put your modal verb, then your subject. This is the first sign of interactive sentence. The second sign is that here you have to put a question mark. Okay. Here you see, in negative sentences full stop, in positive sentences full stop, but in interactive sentences a question mark is needed here. Okay. As well as you can say the interactive negative sentence. You see here also there is a, I can say that a question mark there in interactive negative sentences. Okay. So you see here, as I said before, that first of all your modal verb, then your subject. So let's read it. Will I have been seeking knowledge? Will you have been seeking knowledge? Will we have been seeking knowledge? Will they have been seeking knowledge? Will he have been seeking knowledge? Will she have been seeking knowledge? Will it have been seeking knowledge? Will Ali have been seeking knowledge? Understood? Now let's read the interactive sentence. The sign of interactive negative sentence is this, that here I said before that about interactive sentences, that only modal verb is needed, but here after modal verb we put another word that is not, then the subject. Understood? Two things. For interactive sentences one thing, for interactive negative sentences two things are needed in at the beginning of a sentence, then your subject. First of all will, then not, then your subject. Understood? And the second thing, as I said before, that it needs a question mark there at the end of the interactive, at the end of the interactive negative sentence. Understood? So let's read it first. Will not, as I said before, the same case applies here, as that I said that this is will not, the full form of this this pair of words, but we use the short form. We say won't, okay, instead of using will not. So if you allow me, please, so that I should read the short form, please. Won't I have been seeking knowledge? Won't you have been seeking knowledge? Won't we have been seeking knowledge? Won't they have been seeking knowledge? Won't he have been seeking knowledge? Won't she have been seeking knowledge? Won't it have been seeking knowledge? Won't Ali have been seeking knowledge? Understood? So this was your future perfect continuous, or you can say future perfect progressive. And I hope you have understood the concept of today's lesson. If you are alive, we will meet in a new video with a new grammatical point. So till then, stay tuned.